One of Nigeria's foremost broadcasters closing the market today. It's a very historic moment, especially as it's part of a run-up to the last Sunday when we're going to be talking about the commemoration and gala celebration to close 1 week of events lined up to celebrate 21 years of broadcasting for Channels Television. I'm Harriet Agbeni. Thank you so much for joining me for this special coverage. I'm also here live with Channels Business News Editor Bosun Omofaye. Bosun, good afternoon. Thank you so much for joining me.
It's great to be here this day.
Well, it's a very historic day for Channels Television. We started this conversation earlier on today on a business morning, and quite exciting times you talked about, especially since Channels Television was among the first to start reporting capital market activities as early as 1996.
Channels Television was actually the first, not among the first. It was actually the first in terms of the daily market reporting. Of course, it was the liberalization of the Nigerian broadcast industry back then, licensing, the first round of licensing for private radio and private television got started, and that was what it was all about. So Channels Television being among the first 2 or 3 private broadcasters that were licensed by the government then to operate, started reporting this market live, reporting this market from there, from here back then. It was just in the same, just about a year when the organization. Okay, let me know when they are recording. Let's know if that's a dry run.
They are running now. Please tell me,
Do I need to shift my...
Live from the Nigerian Stock Exchange. Today is a very interesting day for Channels Television. Today, Channels Media Group, led by the chairman and the CEO, Mr. John Momo, OON, will be sounding the closing gong. Of course, he's leading the management team, and I'm being joined on the program by Channels Business News Editor Bosun Omofaye. Bosun, great to have you join me on the program. Good afternoon to you. So we started this conversation earlier on today on Business Morning, talking about how Channels Television has evolved reporting from the capital market in the last 21 years.
It's been 20 years when we actually got in here. Of course, 21 years of Channels Television being one of the few private broadcast organizations that were licensed then by the Nigerian government in the liberalization and deregulation of the broadcast sector, one of the early broadcasters. But again, by 1996, we started reporting this market from about April 1996. That was 20 and a half years ago, 20 years, 6 months down the line. We've seen this, the transformation of this market on a daily basis, move on to weekly market reporting. Then we started covering other markets beyond equities. I've seen the transformation of the marketplace. I've seen the innovation coming. I've seen the automation of this particular trading floor, one of the largest in sub-Saharan Africa, and one of the largest also by market value, and the number of stocks listed on this market you've seen. This broadcast organization being part of this transformation, contributing to investors' communication, investors' information, making sure that there is in-depth analysis. And of course, at this point, I must say a very big thank you to start with to all the individuals and organizations that have supported Channels Television, whether they're research analysts or economists. 1 or 2 of them will be speaking.
Or even stockbrokers.
Or stockbrokers as well. The companies who are listed on the market, the regulator, which is the SEC, and the management of the stock exchanges over the years. Channels has been here, and I've seen about 3, and this is about the 3rd at management of the NSE that's Channels Television I've seen. So in all, it's been very interesting. We've been able to see this market develop. We've seen this as a critical part of the Nigerian economy in terms of capital formation, in terms of deepening the market, in terms of making sure that people have in-depth information, there's enough analysis, interesting, and people who know what they're saying about the market come on the channel on our regular news track, on our regular programming. By 2004, we move on with Business Morning, which was the first of its kind also in Nigeria's television history, having a 1-hour early morning program, 30 minutes before the opening bell, way back in 2004. Again, just before the bank consolidation and the market boom started, we were also there. So we've been part of the milestones of this market.
Yes, and need to just quickly point out that Bosun actually has been, part of the Channels Television for as long as 20 years, and he was part of the pioneer staff who started reporting from the Nigerian Stock Exchange, talking about the capital market and everything that has to do with the financial services sector. But over the years,
I was a young adult.
You was a young adult.
I was a young adult.
But then, Bosun, this conversation has actually, transcended, because now technology has really taken over most of what goes on here at the Nigerian Stock Exchange with the ticker tape and the rest of it. So a lot of people are saying that there should be a ramping up of what the media actually is able to report from the Nigerian Stock Exchange.
I think we've moved with times. If you look at this media group, we've also moved as the market has also moved. As the market moves, we also move. Look at where we broadcasted today. We have more than a single platform to report what people are seeing and what they're watching right now on all the platforms around the world. We broadcast into B-Sky in the UK on Channelstv. We get across to see us in Europe. We've also expanded our coverage of the market. It's not just about the Nigerian market. We've also been able to hook up and have relationship with the Voice of America, reporting from Wall Street, getting reports from there on a daily basis and a regular basis. Also with the Frankfurt Stock Exchange to have a sense of what goes on with that pan-European marketplace, headquartered, of course, with the big broadcast GWTV in Frankfurt. That's quite big, live from the Frankfurt Stock Exchange. So you've seen that as far as channels was concerned, that has increased significantly in terms of the depth of what you see, the size of what we cover, how important this is to the market. Again, this market reflects what you see as far as the economy is concerned. Whether you're spending money at the fiscal level at the government or it's a currency issue, the companies here are the ones feeling it first, because they have what you call, they are the center of what you call the markets, the center of capitalism, and that's where we are.
All right, so we're getting a bit of an activity now. We have the management of Channels Media Group coming up now to talk to the stockbrokers who are also anticipating this particular visit. So you're watching this very live special coverage of the closing of the markets by Channels Media Group, led by the chairman, Mr. John Momo ON, in company of the executive vice chairman as well as other management team. So the CEO of the Nigerian Stock Exchange, Oscar Oyema, right now is speaking to the brokers on the trading floor. Let's listen. Yes, somebody can go past you now.
Good afternoon, distinguished members. It gives me great pleasure to welcome the team from Channels Television to the floor of the Nigerian Stock Exchange. Let's give them a warm NSC welcome. The team is led by the chairman, Mr. John Momo, OON, the vice chairman, Mrs. Shola Momo, the general manager, special duties, Mr. Steve Judo, the company secretary and head legal and compliance department, Mrs. Adiola Olumeya, the head of the business desk, Mr. Bosun. I don't see Bosun. Okay, he's there. Mr. Bosun. We also have members of the